Nigeria, a land pulsating with life, a symphony of cultures, a tapestry woven with the threads of 1,000 stories. Laughter echoed through bustling markets, where vibrant fabrics danced in the warm breeze. The air, thick with the aroma of spices and jollof rice, carried the melodies of Afrobeat, a testament to the nation's vibrant soul. In the eyes of its people, a spark of ambition burned bright, fueled by the promise of a prosperous future. This was Nigeria, the giant of Africa, on the cusp of greatness. From the bustling streets of Lagos to the serene landscapes of the Jos Plateau, a shared spirit of community thrived. Elders shared tales of ancient wisdom, their voices weaving a rich tapestry of history and tradition. Children, their eyes sparkling with hope, chased after dreams as boundless as the sky above. The spirit of unity resonated, a powerful force binding them together. This was their home, a land brimming with promise, a land they were ready to build together. But even in this paradise, cracks began to appear, fissures in the nation's foundation. The seeds of discord sown by self-serving leaders found fertile ground in the hearts of a divided nation. The whispers of discontent grew louder, threatening to drown out the symphony of unity that had once defined them. The warmth of community began to fade, as suspicion and distrust cast long shadows. The laughter in the marketplaces became laced with anxiety, the music tinged with a note of unease. The once bright flame of hope flickered, threatened by the winds of change blowing across the land. The heart of Africa, once brimming with such promise, braced itself for the storm to come. The vibrant tapestry of Nigeria began to unravel, thread by thread. Political tensions, simmering beneath the surface, erupted with the force of a volcano. The very leaders entrusted with safeguarding the nation's future became architects of its downfall, their hunger for power eclipsing the needs of the people they swore to serve. The echoes of empty promises replaced the melodies of progress. The hands that once built bridges now erected walls of division, separating neighbor from neighbor, brother from brother. The ideals of unity and progress, once held so dear, were sacrificed at the altar of greed and ambition. The streets, once alive with the joyous rhythm of life, now echoed with the chilling sounds of unrest. Protests fueled by anger and desperation erupted across the nation. The air, once thick with the aroma of spices, now carried the acrid scent of tear gas and burning tires. Fear, a venomous serpent, coiled its way into the hearts of the people, squeezing out the last vestiges of hope. As the chasm between the powerful and the powerless widened, the fabric of society began to fray. Trust eroded, replaced by suspicion and paranoia. The spirit of community, once the bedrock of Nigerian life, crumbled under the weight of division. The nation, once a beacon of hope for Africa, was teetering on the brink of chaos. The consequences of greed and corruption were swift and merciless. The once abundant resources of this prosperous land dwindled, siphoned away by corrupt officials and their cronies. The lifeblood of the nation, its oil wealth, lined the pockets of a select few, while the majority languished in abject poverty. Empty stomachs became a familiar ache, a constant reminder of the broken promises. Schools, once vibrant centers of learning, stood desolate, their classrooms empty, their futures uncertain. Hospitals, ill-equipped and understaffed, became places of last resort, their corridors echoing with the silent screams of the suffering. The weight of despair pressed heavily upon the shoulders of the people. The laughter of children, once a symphony of innocence, was silenced, replaced by the hollow sound of empty bowls. The spark of ambition in their eyes dimmed, extinguished by the harsh realities of their existence. The shadows of hunger, disease and despair stretched long and dark across the once vibrant land. The paradise they knew, the future they dared to dream of, was slipping away like sand through their fingers. The heart of Africa, once beating with such vitality, was slowly being crushed under the weight of its own broken promises. Fear, a potent weapon, became the tool of the oppressors. The government, its grip on power slipping, resorted to increasingly desperate measures to silence dissent and maintain control. Emergency laws were enacted, draping a suffocating blanket of fear and paranoia over the land. Freedom of speech, once cherished, became a dangerous luxury. The press, once a watchdog against tyranny, was muzzled, its voice silenced by threats and intimidation. Those who dared to speak out, to challenge the status quo, were swiftly dealt with. Their voices snuffed out before they could ignite the flames of rebellion. The streets, once teeming with life, became desolate, patrolled by soldiers with eyes as cold and hard as the barrels of their guns. The air, once alive with the sounds of music and laughter, was heavy with the silence of fear. The vibrant tapestry of Nigerian life, once so rich and diverse, was fading, its colors muted by the oppressive hand of dictatorship. The heart of Africa, once beating with the rhythm of freedom, was now held captive in an iron grip. The dreams of a better future, once so bright and full of hope, were slowly being crushed under the weight of tyranny. The people of Nigeria, their spirits battered but unbroken, found themselves trapped in a nightmare of their own making. Faced with the erosion of their freedoms, the collapse of their economy, and the ever-present threat of violence, the people of Nigeria were left with an agonizing choice: stay and fight for a future that seemed increasingly out of reach, or risk everything and flee to the unknown. The allure of a better life, a life free from fear and oppression, proved too strong to resist for many. The whispers of hope traveled across continents, painting a picture of a land where dreams could take flight, a land of opportunity and freedom. And so began the Exodus. Families, torn between hope and despair, packed their meager belongings, bidding farewell to the land they loved, the land that had become a prison. They boarded rickety boats, their hulls heavy with dreams and desperation, setting sail across the treacherous waters of the Mediterranean, their eyes fixed on the distant shores of Europe. They were doctors and lawyers, teachers and artists, their talents wasted, their dreams deferred. They were mothers and fathers, sons and daughters, their hearts heavy with the pain of leaving, their minds filled with the uncertain promise of a new beginning. They were the refugees of a broken nation, fleeing the shadows of their past, carrying with them the faint embers of hope for a brighter future. Section 6. Risa's Journey, A Mother's Courage. Risa clutched her daughter, Abeni, close, her heart pounding in rhythm with the creaking of the overcrowded boat. The salty spray of the sea stung her face, a constant reminder of the perilous journey she had embarked upon. Fear gnawed at her insides, but it was a distant echo compared to the fierce love that burned within her, a love that fueled her every step, her every breath. Abeni, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and excitement, looked up at her mother. "Mama," she whispered, her small hand clutching Risa's tattered shawl. "Will we see Papa soon?" "Soon, my love," Risa murmured, forcing a smile onto her lips, her voice a soothing balm against the howling wind. Very soon. The journey had been arduous, fraught with danger and uncertainty. The boat, a rickety vessel barely seaworthy, groaned under the weight of their collective desperation. The faces around her, etched with exhaustion and fear, mirrored her own anxieties. Yet amidst the despair, Risa clung to hope, a beacon in the storm, guiding her towards a future where Abeni could live free from fear, a future where her laughter wouldn't be silenced by the echoes of gunfire. Each sunrise brought with it a renewed sense of purpose, each sunset a reminder of the life she was leaving behind. But Risa refused to surrender to despair. She carried within her the indomitable spirit of her ancestors, the strength of 1,000 mothers who had crossed oceans and continents to secure a better future for their children. This was her legacy, and she would not falter. Section 7. Finding Hope on Foreign Shores. The sight of the European coastline, a shimmering mirage in the distance, sent a collective surge of hope through the weary travelers. "Land!" The word echoed across the deck, a whisper at first, then a triumphant roar. They had made it. Against all odds, they had survived the treacherous journey, but their arrival was met with mixed reactions. Some, their hearts touched by the plight of the refugees, welcomed them with open arms, offering food, water, and a place to rest their weary bodies. Others, their eyes clouded with suspicion and fear, turned away, their hearts hardened by the rhetoric of division and intolerance. Risa, clutching Abeni tightly, navigated the chaotic scene, her senses overwhelmed by the unfamiliar sights and sounds. The air, no longer thick with the scent of salt and desperation, carried the fragrance of freshly baked bread and blooming flowers. The streets, paved and clean, bustled with a life so different from the one they had left behind. They found shelter in a refugee camp, a temporary haven from the storm. It wasn't much, but it was a roof over their heads, a place to regroup, to heal, to dare to dream again. Risa, her spirit bolstered by the kindness of strangers, found solace in the company of fellow Nigerians, their shared experiences forging a bond of resilience and hope. Section 8. A tapestry of unity and resilience. Within the confines of the refugee camp, a microcosm of the Nigerian spirit began to emerge. The refugees, stripped of their possessions, their homes and their identities, found strength in their shared heritage. The rhythmic beats of Afrobeat, once silenced by fear, now filled the air, a defiant celebration of their culture and resilience. Risa, her heart warmed by the familiar sounds of home, found solace in the company of other women. They shared stories, their voices weaving a tapestry of loss, courage and hope. They cooked together, the aromas of jollof rice and egusi soup filling the air, a reminder of the life they'd left behind, the life they were determined to rebuild. News of their plight spread, reaching the ears of Nigerians living abroad, their hearts stirred by the plight of their brethren. A wave of solidarity swept across the diaspora, uniting them in a common purpose, to help their people rebuild their lives. Funds were raised, supplies were gathered, and volunteers poured in, their hearts filled with compassion and a deep-seated desire to make a difference. Doctors and nurses offered their skills, teachers set up makeshift classrooms, and artists used their talents to bring joy and hope to the displaced. Section 9. The Indomitable Spirit of Nigeria. Years passed. The refugee camp, once a symbol of displacement and loss, transformed into a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Nigerian people. The seeds of hope sown in the fertile ground of resilience began to blossom. Risa, her eyes reflecting the strength she had discovered within, watched with pride as Abeni, now a bright and curious young girl, excelled in her makeshift classroom. The nightmare of their escape had faded, replaced by a determination to embrace the opportunities of their new life. The Nigerian community, scattered across foreign lands, thrived, their culture a source of strength and unity. They rebuilt their lives, their entrepreneurial spirit undimmed, their determination unwavering. They opened businesses, pursued their education, and used their voices to advocate for a better future, both for themselves and for those they had left behind. The story of the Nigerian exodus is not a tale of defeat, but a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. It is a story of resilience, of hope, of the unwavering belief in a brighter tomorrow. It is a story that whispers of the strength that lies dormant within each of us, the strength to overcome adversity, to rebuild, and to rise again stronger and more determined than before. It is a story that reminds us that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit, like a flame, can never truly be extinguished.